My name is Nicholas. I'm going to be your tour guide tonight. Now, you all got pretty lucky because I am known as the fourth best tour guide here. Not to toot my own horn, there's 5 tour guides here, but I'm not the worst, all right? Now, a couple questions for you guys. How are you all doing tonight?
Good.
Good, awesome, great to hear it. I'm doing good too, thanks for asking. So, another question, who's been to the Mystery Spot before? Show of hands. All right, a lot of you. When was the last time you were here?
2 years.
2 years, okay, good. When was the last time you were here?
2009.
Oh, okay, a little while ago. Anyone else been here before? Show of hands. All right, cool. So it's been a while for all of you. I'm glad you're back. It's very nice to know. Just to let you know, a disclaimer, absolutely nothing has changed. It's the exact same. The road, extremely dangerous still. I heard the tour guides got more handsome. I don't know if that's true. I heard they got a little funnier. Now, for those of you that have not been here before, welcome to the Mystery Spot. You made it this far, guys. Now, with that, I am always going to start with a little bit of history. I like to let you guys know what's going on here, why this place is here, and then we can begin with the actual demonstration. So, let's go back to the year 1939, all right? Oh, it looks the same. Oh my gosh, alcohol, it's illegal? Okay, 1939, there's a guy named George Prather. He was looking to buy the flat piece of land that is our parking lot down there. Now, there was a lumber company that owned all of this land. They were only going to sell it to Mr. Prather on the occasion that he also bought this hillside right here that's adjacent. Now, it was essentially free, but it came with a catch because anything the lumber company attempted to build on the hillside did eventually slide back down. Now, that's not a very good catch for a guy who likes to build things on hillsides like Mr. Prather. So he instead bought the land and decided to send out some surveyors to see for himself what was going on. What they noticed was very interesting, starting with the hillside itself. Now, if you guys go ahead and look at that hillside, you see it is relatively steep looking. It's not as steep as you would think. Now, the surveyors, in fact, said it was about twice as hard as the angle suggested to walk up. So you guys have that to look forward to in about 5 minutes. Now, they also noticed their compasses. Now, in order to survey land, you do need compasses. You need to get your heading. They weren't able to do this because their compasses would spin, rotate, and stop at 180 degrees. Now, in that case, that should mean that north is south, and south is... We're finishing each other's sentences already. You can call my mother next week. So, with that then, we know that there are anomalies happening here. Something is going on. So they decided to look further into this. And actually, they mapped the anomalies. They would walk until something would stop happening. They'd map it. They actually found out all of this stuff was occurring in a near perfect circle, 150 feet in diameter, that runs through these 2 cement blocks right here. Through these gorgeous redwood trees, up the hill, back around, and obviously meeting back in our cement blocks, thus creating the mystery... No, circle. Pay attention. So, let's go ahead and look at our concrete blocks, which do mark our boundaries. So in this case, everyone from, it looks like you my twins inward, you guys are all inside the Mystery Spot. Congratulations, you are getting your $8 plus parking worth. Everyone from, it looks like you little ones outward are all outside of the Mystery Spot, not getting your money's worth. I'm so sorry. As soon as you get in there, it'll be worth it. And it looks like you, my dear. Oh my gosh, you're in or outside, not quite. You're on the fringe. Are you a little confused right now? All right, that's just the Mystery Spot, and maybe my jokes too. We'll see. So let's go ahead and look at our cement blocks. Now these do mark our boundaries. This one outside, this one inside. As you can see, our outside block is a little high up. It looks like it's got a lump below it. That's not something we built. We actually built these to be flat and level years ago. But the roots of this tree right here grew outward and upward, causing the block to rise up. Now, what we could have done the easy way would just to be to take out the concrete, cut the root, and then relay it. But unfortunately, if we were to cut that root right there, that would kill this gorgeous redwood tree that is older than all of us, I hope. So, in this case, we instead decided to go for a more humane option and kill someone else's trees and get some 2x4s, and then we got a level to test if this is a level surface. Now, does everyone here know how a level works? Do you 2 little ones know how a level works? All right, I'm gonna trust you, okay? I'm gonna explain it anyways, just in case someone here didn't speak up. If that bubble is in the center, that's a flat and level surface. Those 2 lines indicate a flat and level surface. If the bubble favors one side, obviously that side is higher, right? So just keep that in mind. Let's reset these, and we should be able to place our level down, and we should see that bubble is sitting where? In the middle, in the center, that's a flat and level surface. If I place it back, we can see that bubble sitting where? in the middle, huh? So we are looking at two flat and level surfaces. When I flip it upside down, what I'm doing is testing if this level has been tapered with, guys. As you can see, if it's been tapered, the level, the bubble's position should change when I twist it around and do funny stuff like that. But as you can see, it stays consistent throughout, meaning that we did not taper this level. Guys, we are not trying to trick you. We already did that with the parking fee. So with that, we are looking at two flat and level surfaces. I sure hope no one came here to see flat and level surfaces. If you did, well then that's all it is. You can leave right now. But I can show you a couple mysteries using a couple people about the same height. So these first two volunteers, I need someone sharing a blanket. Is there anyone out there? Whoa, what are the chances? Come on down, you fit that description perfectly. Not behind you, it's you two sharing the blanket. You're the only ones, come on down.
Они одного роста.
I thought I was specific, right? Go and stand on each side facing each other for me. Now, you two ladies are pretty close to the same height. You are a little bit taller. Now, I can make you much taller. What we're gonna do is we're gonna have you two switch places. So go ahead and do that for me now. Now, as they switch places, we can see one grows a lot. You have grown considerably. That is compliments of the Mystery Spot. You have shrunken. I am so sorry. Now, don't worry, that height does come back by itself in a couple years, or you could go to the gift store, there's a gallon of milk inside there, you chug that whole thing, and that height will come back in about 6 months. So with that, thank you very much for volunteering. Let's give them a big round of applause. Thank you so much. So we saw our first height change. Very, very, very interesting. And remember, guys, all height loss within the Mystery Spot is non-refundable, okay? So keep that in mind. Now, there's actually other stuff that happens when you enter the Mystery Spot as well. Like right now, for instance, I am standing outside the Mystery Spot, but for instance, when I step inside, I actually develop a lean. Now, this lean is about 2 to 3 degrees towards the Mystery Spot. I see a lot of eyebrows shrugging up like this because, yes, I work here. I could be faking this lean. So that's why we don't rely on me. We rely on the trees as well. Now, this one outside the Mystery Spot, I call him Frankie. He's growing straight up into the sky like a tree should, right? But over to the left, little Jeremy over here has developed a slight lean towards the Mystery Spot of about 2 to 3 degrees. This guy in the middle, I call him Paco. And as you can see, he has no idea what he wants to do with his life. He and I, we have that in common, which is why I still work here, all right? Now, it's my life. Now, speaking of life, look at Life magazine photo cover. Now, this was taken back in the year 1948, years and years ago. That features the Harding family. Now, if you guys notice, there's actually some very funny things about that picture. A lot of people say, hey, they're leaning. Well, we're actually all going to be leaning here in just about 15 minutes. They also say, hey, that dude's pants are super high. Yes, I agree. That's really weird. I'm glad that's not fashion. No, the funniest thing about that picture is not what you can see. It's actually a fact about the lady in the picture. The woman's name in that picture is actually Eileen. Oh, some of you got that joke and you liked it. You're gonna love my tour. It's all uphill from here. If you guys did not like that joke, if it physically pained you to hear, think of me. I tell it 8 times a day. So we're gonna go up this hill, guys. Follow me. Let's see what's up here. Standing job. This is the most fit group I've had all day. Now, I can also notice though that I'm hearing a lot of heavy breathing out there, a lot of panting. Guys, that's all right. It happens as people get close to me. You get used to it. Now, go ahead and look at that hillside you just walked up. Now, show of hands, who thinks that hill was a little harder to walk up than it looked? Yeah, a lot of hands raised, a lot of north-south. Show of hands, who thinks that hill was not hard to walk up at all? It was extremely easy. Wow, there's always a couple. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna wait here. You guys are gonna run up and down that hill. I wouldn't do that to you. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna make our way inside this courtyard. As you do, line up along the fence lines. A lot of people say they feel dizzy, nauseous on my tour when they come inside there. That's just because I tell a ton of jokes in there, guys. So come on inside, line up along the fence lines and see what's inside here. All right, cool. So now that we're in here, I do notice a lot of cameras out, a lot of people taking pictures of me. I know, guys, I look adorable up here. Here, I'll strike a couple poses. People take pictures of me not because I look so darn cute, it's because I'm actually leaning a lot. Now, believe it or not, all of you are leaning as well, and I can actually help you practice a lean. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to kind of get the basics down of leaning before you go inside there, because you do need to be practiced, okay? So everyone go ahead and face the parking lot this direction. You're going to put your feet together like you're standing in a military attention. Now, this first pose that you're doing right now, I call the Mystery Spot Weight Loss Program. A lot of people look down and they can see their feet for the first time in years. Yeah. Now, let's go ahead and turn around, guys, and face this direction. Now this pose I like to call the Michael Jackson. Yes, you guys are looking like some smooth criminals out there, huh? Yeah. Now I have huge respect for Michael Jackson. He's my favorite underground artist at the moment. Oh, some of you got that. Yeah, you like that joke. Some of you guys, I'm sorry, that joke's a little dead these days. So go ahead and face this direction. All right. So without kind of like looking around too much, you can notice this giant cabin right here. Now, this cabin, believe it or not, was not built right here. It was actually built about 30 feet up the hill, and then it slid down and stopped right here, just like the lumber company said it would. Now, can anyone tell me what might have stopped the cabin and it slide down the hill? The trees, yes, that makes so much sense. Sometimes people say the fence. That makes absolutely no sense at all. So, yes, the trees, that is honestly the only option here. But here's the deal. This cabin was built in 1942. That makes it about 75 years old. It slid down the next year after it was built, so about 74 years ago. Can anyone tell me how old they think that tree might be? 48. 48! That is a nice guess. You're really close. They're 50. Now, it slid down and stopped right here. About 50 years ago, those trees weren't even there, right? Those trees would have been little saplings. There's no way they could have stopped this cabin. So what do we think stopped it? We actually think the forces of the Mystery Spot stopped the cabin and it slid down the hill. And that is not without proof. Now, in my hand right here is something known as the Board of Mystery. Now, it's really dying to get out, guys, but we got to complete a ritual before I can set it free. Now, calm down. All right. So, the Board of Mystery, when I pull it out, requires a ritual. It sounds a bit like this. Ooh, nice. Yeah, kind of like you see fireworks, right? So, let's get a practice. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Nice. All right. Just the ladies now. All right, just my baritones, the dudes now. Sometimes you have guys that still go, ooh. All right, so with that, guys, we're going to pull that board out, and you're going to give me those oohs and ahs as loud as you can. Mainly because I love hearing groups that are loud. It gets me pumped up. But also, my boss is down there. If he hears you oohing and ahhing, he might actually pay me in something other than bumper stickers this week. So that'd be great. So, guys, without any further ado, I present to you the Board of Mystery. And the crowd goes! Yes, it's a plank of wood. Now, it's a little groovy. It's got that groove down the center. That is not for no reason at all. It's actually so we can show you something really cool.
2 more minutes.
So I'm going to take this and place it inside.
I need you guys to light off the board.
Now, help with it. All right, so I'm going to ask you guys a few quiz questions. Now, show of hands. Who thinks that this side is actually higher up? Okay, ooh, interesting. Who thinks the side inside is higher up? Even more interesting. All right. Who thinks that it's a flat and level board? All right. So I'm gonna say some things I noticed. I noticed only about 6 of you voted. I noticed 2 of you voted all 3 times. Guys, that is not how voting works. That is why Donald Trump won the election. Okay? So I actually have a level to answer the question for us. So I'm gonna take my level and I'm gonna place it down. And since it's dark out, I'm gonna need someone trustworthy like you, my good sir. Come on down. So I need you to tell me where you see that bubble inside the level. In the center. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So if it's in the center, if it's in the middle, that means that's a flat and level surface, right? So those of you that raise your hands, you got it right. Now, if I take a circle or a ball like this and I place it down on the flat and level surface, what should happen? Right? Now, what if that happens if I give it a little roll? Let's see some interesting angles. Wow, yeah.
Oh, no way.
Now this wood is a little old, it's got a lot of grooves. Sometimes the ball gets caught up, but for the most part, the ball will stop. It will, yeah, the batteries ran out. Always around. Oh my goodness. There we go. It rolls out. It usually looks way cooler when I can roll it in and it turns around. Let's see if we can get it to happen. There we go. Yeah, that's interesting, right? Now, a lot of people say, Nicholas, there's a very good chance you could have rigged this billiard ball. I didn't open a package, right? I just pulled it out. So how about something that you guys own? Something cylindrical. Chapstick works the best. I usually only use that. Small children also work. Also, human teeth. Chapstick does work the best, though. If anyone's got chapstick lipstick, Chanel number 5, that's my favorite. Just hold it up. Oh, you got it. Perfect. Nice. All right, all right. So I take it and I like like to flip my board upside down just to make it a little easier. And I'm going to take our chapstick and we're going to place it on the board. And as we can see, it too rolls out. Now that's really interesting because that's nothing I own. She's not a paid actress, right? That is something completely separate to the mystery spot, still effective. Now don't use that for about 4 or 5 days. It could turn your lips sideways. So I do have one more thing I show for those of us that truly aren't believers of the mystery spot. It is this right here. This is regular H2O. If I were to take it and pour it out on the board, it rolls up and onto the ground. Yes, guys. Now, believe it or not, that's not water anymore. I can smell it from here. I believe the molecules changed into... Ooh, that's tequila. Yes, all right. Just kidding, guys. It was always tequila. So, we're going to make our way inside this cabin. I do have a few very important ground rules. That is my house inside there. So when you're in my house, you follow my rules. First rule is save pictures until I've shown you everything. Trust me, you will get lots of time. The second rule is be careful, but have fun. So, come on inside, everyone. Let's see what you guys have made it into the cabin. Now, a lot of people ask me, Nicholas, what is your favorite pose to do in the mystery spot? Trust me, you will see some. But first, I like to show you the favorite pose that you guys do. I call this the 35-year-old man walking towards his wife like a baby. It always happens. Now, the true poses inside you are used doing the 17-degree lean. As you can see, the way I'm leaning right now, it's a little more over my center of gravity, but it's just a little bit. So you can lean like this. A lot of people stand like this. It doesn't make a good picture. Get those feet together like this. And once up here, you can be Rose from Titanic. Now, if you don't have your very own Jack, that's all right. I have another pose. For those of you that are single out there, we have the Superman. Yes, it helps if you have the Clark Kent glasses. Now with that, guys, we are going to make our way inside this other room. So go ahead and follow me, and then I'm going to set you free. So let's see what's over here. Focusing right here on this 32-pound. It's made of lead. It rhymes with schmendulum. What could it be? Pendulum. Yes. I hear so many people go, wrecking ball. No, guys. That was years ago, okay? Now I want to make sure she stands back there because I'm going to give this a bit of a swing. Now this pendulum's going to swing like this. And actually, believe it or not, pendulums, or you should believe it, they operate off of equal and opposite reaction. That's something I think Kim Kardashian said. Now you can see it rotates further away from the mystery spot than it does towards the mystery spot. That's the forces of the mystery spot affecting a lead pendulum. Remember, lead is non-magnetic. Now, when you are using this, be very careful. If you're not conscious of its location, it's 32 pounds. It's heavy. It's hard. Other people will be unconscious in their location. So, I do have another thing. They got the second few poses. I call these the bread and butter of the mystery spot. Because right here, if you got strong legs, you can get them wide. You can imagine Agent John Smith is shooting his bullets at you, and you dodge those bullets like Neo from the Matrix. Now, if you guys are into push-ups, you're into CrossFit, I hope not, you guys need to actually, get some workout done in the mystery spot. That's all right. I got the workout for you. It's called the Mystery Spot Push-Up Program. Right here, push-ups are extremely easy. You can just several thousand if you want. So, with that, guys, you do have about 7 to 8 minutes of free time. I will give you a 2-minute warning. I will yell it loud and proud. You will hear me. And then you will meet me out there in that second courtyard. But other than that, have fun. I'm here for your safety and to take some pictures. So, enjoy yourselves, guys. Back and then the vertically challenged in the front. All right, great. All right, and then we'll have you guys step forward just a little bit, just so I can get clear on this bench. Awesome. So, everyone, I do have a question to ask now that we are out here. Show of hands, who's a little dizzy right now? A little dizzy? Yeah, a lot of north-south, a lot of, yeah, right? The dizziness does go away in a few weeks, but if you guys are feeling really dizzy, big, deep breaths. Very good. All right, just keep taking those deep breaths. Now, I'm actually standing on the next demonstration. This is the Bench of Mystery. Now, I was showing some of you earlier kind of what this was about, but I'll explain it in a little bit more in depth. Now, right now I'm standing on the lower side of this bench. Now, you're saying, no way, that bench is angled upward. Well, believe it or not, this side is considerably downhill. Now, this side, in fact, is considerably uphill. Now, when I walk uphill, let me know what you notice happens to me. I shrink, yes. Someone said I get better looking. That happens as I get further away. So I have right here a level. I'm going to take the level and I'm going to place it down. And you should see that bubble sits way over to the right. Can you come up and verify? So you don't have to take my word for it. So you can see that bubble's not in the center. Wow, it's over this way, right? Yeah. Okay, awesome, perfect. So he says the bubble's way over here. Now can I get your help, little one? Little orange one? All right, little orange one. So you have the most important job here. You're going to take this billiard ball. You're going to put it right here for me, okay? So walk over there and then put the billiard ball down. And then let's see what happens. Oh, look at that. That's a ball rolling downhill. That is physics, okay? So let's give her a little round of applause. She did a very good job. She did good. She doesn't know what's going on at all. All right, so with that, we saw a ball roll downhill, right? That's just physics, no mystery there, but I will show you a mystery using some volunteers. Now, I need someone out there who's about 5'6" tall. Anyone out there about 5'6"? Nice, you got pushed in, perfect. All right, you're gonna stand exactly where I'm standing, right here. And perfect, awesome. Now we need someone out there about 5'8", about this guy's height. Out there about 5'8". Tinder 6'1". Yeah. I'm 6'3" on Tinder. All right, so let's see. Someone out there about 5'8". I would say you're about 5'9", right?
Yeah, 5'10".
All right, perfect. That works. Go ahead and stand around there. We'll see what happens once you get up there. Yes, that's awesome. All right, now we need someone out there about 5'4", 5'4" tall. I will find you if you don't volunteer. I'm very good at this. Let's see. Someone about 5'4". I would say you're close enough. You're about 5'3". Go ahead and stand right there. Oh yeah, you got the high heels too. You're like 8 foot tall. All right, so this is working good. We need someone out there about 5 foot. 5 foot, very short. Perfect. Go ahead and stand right there. When I said very short, I didn't mean it. All right, now let's see. Very careful, very careful. All right, perfect. Now let's see. We need someone tall guy, 6 foot. You're out there about 6 foot tall. You're out there about 5'11". All right, that's fine. We'll go shorter. Let's see. Someone out there really short, tiny. Someone out there tiny. You're pretty tiny. Tiny's good. All right, now let's see. When we all stand up there, perfect. You work awesome. Your hat kind of makes you taller, but it's all right. Now you're good. All right. So as we can see, you guys kind of scooch this way a little bit. You won't bite you. All right. So as we can see, we have recreated the AT&T signal. Right now, definitely get your pictures now because this is the only time you'll see a full AT&T signal. Now we're gonna try to test a few things out. So what we're going to do is we're going to see that roof line behind them. You guys all see that? That roof line's angled at quite an opposite angle than they're standing, huh? So that could be causing an optical illusion. We are going to test that. So we're going to have everyone up here look to your right for me. When you look to your right, do you notice everyone is shorter? All right, perfect. Go ahead and look to your left. When you look to your left, you notice everyone is taller. Perfect, awesome. Yeah, you guys probably at the end didn't see much. So with that, we now know you're seeing the same thing that we are seeing, despite not looking directly at the roof line, meaning it cannot be causing an optical illusion. Unless you have eyes in the back of your head like my mom. She can throw a chocolate from a mile away. Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to get some help. We're going to have you, good sir, and you, my dear, switch places. We're going to have you, my dear, and you, my dear, switch places. You just got to stand there and look at it. You're doing great. All right, so everyone changes around, and oh my goodness. Now, for the most part, our heights have all evened out. You have walked uphill and you've shrunk. You've walked downhill and you've grown. Now, what we're going to show you is a true height change. We're going to have you, my good sir, and you, my dear, switch places one more time, okay? So one more height change, and we should see a real contrast now. Whoa, you have grown a lot. Now, I usually don't give out NBA contracts, but I got an agent, and he says, unfortunately, it's the Toronto Raptors, but they need some help. It's all you. You have shrunken, but don't worry, your future in the film industry is just starting. I got word that there's a couple Willy Wonka movies coming out, a couple Lord of the Rings, all you. Now, I do actually have one more demonstration that I do separate of the mystery spot. What I need you all to do is get your right hand and put it on your tummy like this. Left hand on your spine. You're going to press so that your spine actually compresses. It actually straightens your posture. You're going to stand at a military attention one more time. Now what you're going to do is you're going to focus on this wooden strip. There is nothing important about this wooden strip other than the thing that you can focus on. Now very, very slowly you're going to bring yourself to the waist, just about where I'm going. And focus, and wow, they took a bow. Let's give them a round of applause. There you have it. Great job. You can go ahead and make your way off the bench for me. Natural showman. Wow, that's amazing. All right. So, tricked him. So with that, guys, you did see some very interesting height changes, but that is actually not the only thing that occurs out here. If we can get a look at our nature out here, it looks really cool because it's kind of contrasted on the backlight. Now, these eucalyptus, these gray trees, if you're Australian, you might call them gum trees. That's just because Australian people are weird. Now, those eucalyptus, we're going to try to get our eyes on that one right there. That's got a bit of a corkscrew shape over the center. We see how they're all kind of growing over the center of the mystery spot, leaning inward. Now that's very interesting because eucalyptus trees, actually just trees in general, are efficient beings. They've been around far longer than human beings have. They know to grow straight up towards the sun. So when you have leans and odd turns and twists like this, it actually raises the hairs on the back of a lot of arborists, those who study trees. So we decided to hire some arborists, people who, you know UCSC, University of California, Santa Cruz, the slugs. They came out here. If you know anything about UCSC students or just people from Santa Cruz in general, we love green leafy things. So they came out here, they tested our trees free of charge. Now what they noticed was after about 2 months they deliberated, they told us that all of our trees were female trees. Now, I don't know much about trees. I also don't know much about females, but I do know that I am a gentleman, so when I do speak to these trees, I call them mysteries. Yeah. I told you guys, I went at the bottom was the best one I got. Now, I know I probably stumped a few of you with that joke. I'm sorry. I was just trying to be Fernie. So, we're going to make our way down to the last part of the tour. We're going to leaf down this way, if you will. So, follow me, guys. Thank you for being lenient on me. Pot du Finale, or whatever that is. So, we can see we have the T blocks. The T blocks. These are shaped as such because they are shaped like a T. Yes, very obvious. Now, when these were initially built, they were actually flat and level. No side was higher. But due to something that happened in 1989, does anyone know what that was? Earthquake, yes, the Loma Prieta earthquake, the largest earthquake to hit the Bay Area since 1906. This large earthquake was so large, in fact, that it actually offset our blocks by about 1/17 of an inch. Now that does not sound a lot, right? That seems like a very small amount, but it is relatively significant in this case. Now, when I place my level down, it's kind of hard to see, but that bubble's off in this direction just a teensy weensy little bit, meaning that this side is higher by about 1/2 of an inch. When I walk down here, I shrink by 1/2 of an inch. Keep that in mind. So if you have two people switching places, you're going to see 1 inch of height change. Keep that in mind, okay? Very important. So for this demonstration, I actually use very specific people. Like there, I use people based on heights. Here, I use people based on what I've noticed throughout the tour. Now, this first person I need is someone who has not laughed at a single one of my jokes. Someone that doesn't believe the mystery spot is real. Someone that was just out there earlier saying the mystery spot's not real, it's all a lie, you suck. Who could that be? Whoa! What are the chances? Come on up. No, I'm just kidding. Come on up here. I just need someone about your height. Go ahead and stand right there for me, darling. Now, since you were chosen first, you get to choose whoever you volunteer with. So just reach out there and pick anyone you think might work for this. Anyone at all, you know, no one specific. Maybe someone with glasses, who knows, you know. Just pick anyone, maybe that guy, who knows, I don't know. Just pick anyone. Oh, look, you got picked, all right.
I volunteer myself.
All right. Now for this next one, I usually pick a child that is old enough to understand what I'm saying. I think you might be young one in the orange. Can you help me out? Yes, I don't think she knows what's happening. It'll work. They'll go and stand right there. Now, what's your name? Nice to meet you. My name is Nicholas. I'll shake your hand. Nice. All right, very nice to meet you. Now, your job is very important. You are my scientific observer. Are you excited? Yeah, you really excited? All right, that's what I like to hear. Now, remember, this is an unpaid internship, okay? So, when you look at these two people, who do you think is taller, all right? Who's taller? Who's higher up? I'm probably the highest one here, but who's higher up? Yeah, she's higher, right? Now, if she's a little bit taller, she's a little bit higher up, we're gonna actually have all of you help me out. I'm gonna raise my level, and you're gonna tell me when it reaches the top of her head. It might not be much, but we gotta get the exact measurement. Right about there?
A little bit more.
All right, so we would say that this is about an 8-inch construction level, 9-inch construction level. That's about 3 inches less. So we're looking at about 6 inches. You're actually quite a bit taller. Now, that's just for now, because we're gonna have you two switch places, and we're gonna see what happens. Now, go ahead and switch places for me. Now remember, she was about 1/2 a foot taller, give or take an inch. Whoa, you have grown considerably. Now I'm gonna raise my level, and you're gonna tell me when to stop now, everyone. Wow, that's, again, about an 8-9 inch construction level, so that's another probably 2 inches, give or take. So 11 plus about 5, wow, it's like 16 inches. You've grown by over a foot and a half. That is an amazing growth spurt. That is the perks of laughing at my jokes. That's what you get for not laughing at my jokes. Now, with that, you two helped me show something really amazing. I really appreciate it. So let's give them both a big round of applause. Thank you so much. You both are awesome. All right, well. So with that, guys, we have seen some truly insane stuff here in the membrane, right? We've seen balls rolling uphill. We've seen people laughing at jokes that just aren't funny. So what's going on here? What could be causing the mystery? At the end of my tour, I don't know how many times I've had people say, hey, Nick, so what's really going on here? I don't know. It's the mystery spot. If I really knew what was going on here, we'd call it the solved spot. I'd have to get a real job. I don't want any of that to happen. So instead, I might be able to give you some theories, hopefully hold you over till your next visit. So we have about 4. I like to give 4 theories. There's lots, but these are the most interesting ones. So this first theory is the idea that there's actually a geomagnetical vortex occurring right here. Now that's a big $10 word, right? That's a huge word. Really, all it boils down to is that there's 2 supermassive objects somewhere below our feet rotating in the opposite direction of the Earth itself, causing a gravitational vortex. Now, I like that theory. It was a little white bread, a little boring. So I have another theory. The idea that behind us is a large fault line. It actually does row, God, I don't even know the word, subterraneanly below our feet. Now, this fault line is of prehistoric origin. That means it's very old, about 60 million years old. They think this fault line is actually seeping gas into the air. Now, you guys might be saying, gas, is this safe to breathe in? Well, in fact, throughout the tour, I've been having you guys do what? There's a reason for that. That's why the tour got weirder as it got on, because this is a hallucinogenic gas. And you guys have been breathing it in for about 45 minutes now. So we just had a really awesome group hallucination, guys. And think of me, I do it all day, every day. It's crazy. So honestly, $8 plus parking is not bad for that kind of deal. I paid about $40 for a group hallucination in San Juan. Was not nearly as good. So I do have another theory. It's the idea that above our heads is a hole in the ozone layer. You might just be able to see it. Yeah, quite a few of you looked up, guys. You can't see the ozone layer. Come on, all right? Now, it's all right. A lot of people look up. I do trick them. As long as you don't rear up and take pictures of the ozone layer like I had someone do earlier, you're fine. I hope they posted it to Instagram. # can't see it. Now, that hole in the ozone layer is causing something known as light refraction. Now, light refraction seems really interesting. It's a really big word. Really, yeah. All it is really is when you put a straw in water, it looks like it's bent or broken. That's light refraction. It's essentially an optical illusion caused by the way that light interacts with certain molecules, in this case, oxygen. Now, I like that theory, but there is a final theory, a theory that explains all of this, why you laughed at my jokes, all this stuff, and I can actually prove it. Now, what I need you all to do is to rub your hands together like this. Now, it's kind of cold out, so this is a good thing. It's, give and take here. You rub your hands together, it warms us up, and it actually warms the air up around us by a very, very minute amount, but just enough. Now, what you're going to do with your hands rubbing together, you're going to close your eyes, because I like to use your imaginations. Now, with your hands rubbing together and your eyes closed, imagine with me an alien spaceship crashing into the hillside behind me. Aliens on that spaceship laid eggs, which hatched into handsome, funny, cool tour guides with beards. Those tour guides would take random tourists through a mystery spot, making them lean, grow, shrink, see a ball rolling uphill, laugh at jokes that just aren't funny. And as their final demonstration to show their true mind powers, they would make a random group of tourists rub their hands together looking real goofy for no reason. Which some of you are still doing, actually. All right, okay, good. So my mind control is strong, guys, so don't feel bad. Now, in all honesty, we can't solve the mystery. Remember, mystery spot, but we can solve one. It's what's inside this box. Someone asking, what is it, right? What is inside the box? It is actually a lot of Mystery Spot bumper stickers. Can I get a woo woo? Woo! Yeah! You could put these on anything. Your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, your cat, your dog. You can put them on your car. If you don't own a car, there's lots of cars in the parking lot. Now guys, you can use these as currency in up to 10 different countries. Don't actually try that. Now, on your way down the hill, please, please do not run, guys. So many people just straight up sprint down this hill, and they actually fall. Now, although it's super funny to see, it's not scientifically valuable because I've never seen a person roll back up to this day. Now, if you enjoyed my tour guides, does anyone remember my name out there? Nicholas. Yeah, a lot of you. That's awesome. If you guys enjoyed my tour, tell your friends, tell your family, my name is Nicholas. But if you did not enjoy my tour, if my puns were just way too sappy, I'm sorry. You guys can go down there, complain, and tell them my name is Jennifer, okay? Now, on your way out, guys, feel free to grab some bumper stickers. You do get to advertise for us for free. It's a great deal. But with one more thing, I'd like you guys to give yourselves a big round of applause. Thank you so much. I know it's late, and you guys were an awesome group. So with that, thank you very much. On your way out, feel free to grab a few bumper stickers. Come on down. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. You guys were a good group. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
You have a nice day. Thank you, little ones. Look at their so